Hello everyone, my name is Chanvi Patel and today I would like to share my first resume challenge project which is part of the Code Basics Bootcamp. So the project is the performance analysis of the Goodcabs. And in this project I have created the interactive dashboard and provided the actionable insights based on the dashboard analysis, the current market scenarios and the future demand for the cab services. And in this project, I have used MySQL and the Power BI for the data analysis and creating the dashboard. So let's start with the agenda of the today's presentation. So first, I will briefly talk about the company, its problem statement, and I will talk about the objective of this project. Then I will quickly go through the dashboard. They will share the key insights, and I also talk about the ad hoc insights by the Chief Operating Officer, Mr. Haryali of the Goodcap. Then I will share the current market scenarios, and at the end I will give the recommendations to the Goodcaps based on the whole analysis. So the Goodcap is the tier 2 city focused cab service which established 2 years ago, and now it has a strong foothold in the Indian market. It is committed to empowering the local drivers and improving the passenger satisfaction. So it is operating in the 10 tier 2 cities including the Jaipur, Mysore, Kochi, Visakhapatnam, Chandigarh, Surat, Vadodara, Indore, Kauntar and Lucknow. So the problem statement. So Goodcap set the performance target for 2022 to drive its growth and improve the passenger satisfaction. So it wants to analyze its operations whether to identify whether they will be able to meet the target or they need to modify their strategies uh, according to like to reach out to their goal. And the objective of this project is to provide the actionable insights to help good cabs to improve their operations and their growth goals. Now let's go to the dashboard. So this is a landing page of the dashboard where we can navigate through the different pages. So this icon represents the trip analysis, this icon represents the passenger analysis, and if you need any help you can just click on this icon. It will take you to the page where you can explain your problem or any question. So let's look at the trip analysis dashboard. Okay. So on the top, it's all the key performance indicators. It's total trips, revenue, average travel per trip, and average trip distance in kilometer. The filters on the left hand side enables to evaluate the or analyze the performance for a particular month or a particular day type or for a particular city. So we have the data sets for 6 months, like January 2024 to June 2024. So the first chart shows all the key metrics by the city and months. So we have the total trips, then trips vary some percentage from the target, then the trip distribution and the revenue generated for each city. And this arrow shows whether the city were able to meet the target or not. So here we have all the value for each city, and we can also analyze based on the month for that particular city. So here we can see that Jaipur is and for now the data like these values are sorted in descending order. So Jaipur is at the top, having the highest total trips with 76,888, and it exceeded the expectation of the Goodcabs with 13.91%. And it contributed it contributed by 18.05% in the total trips, and it generated 37.2 million revenue. And if you hover, you can also see its monthly trend by weekday and weekends for each city. And this is the average fare per trip and average trip distance in kilometer for each city, which shows the trend like the cities like Jaipur, Kochi, Chandigarh and Visakhapatnam, which are the tourism focused cities are having the longer trip and the more like high average fare per trip, whereas the business focused cities are having the shorter trip and with the low average fare per trip. Okay, this table represents the city with its peak demand month and the low demand month. So here we can see the Chandigarh is having the highest total trips in February month and the lowest total trips in April month. So it will help in accommodating drivers based on the during the peak uh, month. Yeah. And this chart shows the total trips by city and day type, and this line will help in identifying the percentage of total, like which city is having the higher trip for a particular day type. So if you can see the Jaipur, Kochi, Mysore, and the are having the more trip during the weekends, whereas the Surat, Vadodara, Coimbatore are having the higher trip during the weekdays. So it means the business focus cities are having the higher trip during the weekdays and the tourism focus cities are having the higher trip during the weekends. And this shows the top three and bottom three cities by the total trips. So currently selected the top three, which shows the Jaipur, Lucknow and Surat. And if we select the bottom three, we can see the cities like Coimbatore, Mysore and the Visakhapatnam. Now let's go to the passenger analysis dashboard. So here we have the key performance indicators like new passengers, repeat passengers, and the average passenger rating. And I have also added the average driver rating to evaluate the driver satisfaction for each city. So the first chart shows the repeat passenger rate by city and the trip frequency. And by looking at the trend, we can see the cities are being categorized into two parts like Chandigarh, Indore, Jaipur, Kochi, Mysore, and the Visakhapatnam are having the highest repeat passenger rate in two trips frequency, whereas the rest of the cities like Vadodara, Surat, they are having the highest repeat passenger rates in 5 or 6 trips. Okay. This chart represents the repeat passenger rate and it is comparing with the total repeat passenger for each city. So if we look here, the Surat is at the top in terms of the repeat passenger rate with the 42.63% of the total out of the total passengers for the Surat, whereas the Mysore is at the last with 11.23%. And if we see even if the Jaipur is occupies the first place in terms of total repeat passengers, it is the second last for the repeat passenger rate with 17.43%. Okay, this chart shows the average passenger rating, average new passenger rating, average repeat passenger rating, and the average driver rating. The blue color shows the driver rating, which indicates that they are having the good experiences in tourism focused cities, and the rating is quite low in the business focused cities. Okay, and here we can also say that the repeat passenger rate is always low compared to the new passenger rate, which shows to which requires to be consistent in terms of providing the quality of service. Okay, this chart shows the actual versus targeted new passengers and the average passenger rating. So if we just click here, the data will be sorted in the descending order by the variation percentage, which shows that the business focus cities exceeded the expectation of the Goodcabs in terms in acquiring the new passengers, especially the Coimbatore having at the top with 13.52%, whereas the tourism focus cities failed to acquire the new passenger, like failed to meet the target and acquiring the new passengers, especially the Jaipur with 15.08%, with requires to pay and attention to that. And this shows the top two and bottom two cities by the repeat passenger rates, so which is Lucknow and Surat in the top two cities, and in the bottom two cities it's Jaipur and Mysore in terms of repeat passenger rate. Now let's go ahead with the presentation. So these are the some of the key insights. Here you can see the although the Lucknow and Surat are in the top three cities by total trips, they fail to meet their target. Like Lucknow failed by 10.70%, which is significant, quietly high, and the Surat failed by 3.78%. But surprisingly, Mysore exceeded the target by 20.28%, even after occupying the last place in the total trips. And in terms of RPR, which is repeat passenger rate, Jaipur is even after occupying the first place in total trips, it is the second last at repeat passenger rate. Okay. So this is the overall average passenger rating, and here we can see the Mysore is at the top with 8.7 passenger rating, and Surat is at the last with 6.4 passenger rating. This is the ad hoc request one, uh, where I have generated the SQL report with the city name, total trips, contribution to total trips, average fare per kilometer, and average fare per trip. And I have sorted the values in the descending order by total trips. This is ad hoc request 2, where we can analyze the performance like for each city and each month, and we can compare the actual trips, target trips, and the percentage difference, and whether it's below the target or the above the target. It will help in the detailed analysis. This is the ad hoc request 3. Here we have all the like percentage distribution of the repeat passengers by the number of trips they have taken in each city, and we have the repeat passenger rate for the each frequencies from 2 trips to 10 trips that we saw in the dashboard as well. And these are the top 3 cities by the new passenger, which is the Jaipur, Kochi, and Chandigarh. And these are the bottom 3 cities by the new passenger, which is Surat, Vadodara, and Coimbatore. Okay, this chart represents the month with the highest revenue for each city. So the color shows the month, like the yellow shows the February, blue represents the April, and the green represents the May. So it indicates that we Goodcabs needs to focus specifically on these 3 months for these cities. Like Jaipur is having the Jaipur generated the highest revenue in February with 7.7 million. Yeah. And this is the ad hoc request 6, where I have calculated the repeat passenger rate by city and also in that particular city by month as well. So as we can see, the Surat is at first with 42.63, and if you want to analyze at monthly level, we can see in it generated it gained the more repeat passenger in the month of May with 19.37%. So these are some of the market scenarios. Like India's travel and tourism industry is projected to achieve revenue of 23.72 billion USD by 2024, which indicates the significant growth opportunities in this sector, and especially in the Jaipur, which shows increase in the tourist arrival by 7%. During the these 6 months, that's why it has the highest total cruise, and also there is a growing demand for meetings, conferences, and the destination weddings. Okay. And international traveling has increased significantly in tier 2 cities of India. and if we like it increased by 126.2% in Surat and 175.3% in Indore. Also, the user penetration rate is projected to grow from 80.6% in 2024 to 25.3% by 2029 in the Indian taxi market, which shows the higher opportunity, and it will be increased by approximately 7% by 2029. So we have the opportunity to grow in this sector. And these are the recommendation that I would like to give to the Goodcabs to improve their operations. So first is the tourism focused cities. So we show that it has a significant deviation from the targeted new passengers, especially the Jaipur with 15.08%. So it requires to attract the new passengers and improve the marketing efforts in these regions. For that, Goodcamps can utilize the targeted campaigns on peak month, and it can also generate the referral programs, or they can do the like first ride discounts to attract the new passengers, and they can also partner with the travel bloggers and the influencers to promote its services to reach out to the larger number of the passengers. It can also introduce the dedicated like the tourism packages, like the day trips covering the major attractions, or they can include the full day or multi-day sightseeing packages with fixed pricing. So it will help to it will give the travelers the hassle-free experiences. And in business focused cities, the Goodcap can collaborate with the companies or co working spaces to offer the corporate discounts or cab subscription for the daily commutes. And they can also partnership with the big companies, which will uh, increase the opportunity in acquiring the international business passengers as well. And they can facilitate them by the luxurious cars and the other like the services like Wi-Fi and the discs for the laptop, and they can provide the like work with comfort. It will also help in improving the passenger rating as well, but it's as it is required to focus in it, as this series shows the low ratings, particularly in the Surat, which ranks the third by total trips and the first by repeat passenger rate. So, good camps can also implement the real-time feedback during or after the rides for both passengers and drivers to address the complaints promptly. And also, good camps can also like initiate the green cab services, which will be highly demanded in the Indian market. Like they can implement the electric cars, so it will help in attracting the more passengers who is environment friendly. So that's everything for this today's presentation. So thank you so much everyone, and please feel free like if you have any question,